Hello, everybody. Thank you, everybody at USC Institute of Armenian Studies for putting this together. I've been following it live stream from Amman here. And, you know, from the beginning, I think, you know, we talk about public service, right, as a political role. But the oldest public servants in history, one of the oldest, were the storytellers. And I look at all my friends here and all the professionals here, in one capacity or another, we're all storytellers. And Armenia has a story that's been dying to be told for millennia. And finally, for 25 years, I've witnessed from up front in my student days, through my years as a filmmaker, going back there, step by step, this incredible sense of indifference that kind of blew up in April. And the day that Arsene was arrested, I was flying into Armenia from Istanbul. Vahe was in Yerevan. And that was really kind of the turning point where I realized there's this incredible bifurcation we have as a diaspora to not get involved, to not want to be stood up and be counted for, and to express solidarity on the most basic level. You know, the problem with Armenia that I've seen for the past 17, 18 years of going back there regularly is we're a small nation that always talks about big ideas, but we still haven't figured out how to address the most minute daily quotidian needs of the population that is less than 3 million. And so whatever's been happening for these 25 years clearly is not working. And we're not out for all-out war or revolution or trying to think we know what we're talking about sitting half a world away in the diaspora. We just want to understand what this existential crisis is between the diaspora and Armenia proper. We want to engage. And I think without that sense of engagement, now more than ever, I left America, you know, just before the last days of Barack Obama. I'm in the Middle East right now. And I can tell you the events that have happened in this last 7 days, the ramifications on the street here is something to be very worried about. Because what's going to happen if people do not stand up to oppression, if people do not come together to address their voices? And I think what we're trying to do is try to understand what it is that we can do, all of us collectively, in giving awareness, like Atom said, to be with the people in the street. Because we have come to a point where we've orientalized ourselves. Being Armenian is not about Mount Ararat. It's not about being the first Christians. It's not about these great ideas that we're so proud of, yet we're so deluded by, because we need to step up and really ask ourselves, are we going to stay silent and are we going to live comfortably from afar? Or are we going to engage and genuinely do something that breaks the cancer of apathy and indifference? And the main thing for me, more than anything, because I've spent a lot of time in the Middle East and in Europe these past 7, 8 years, I am seeing on the streets of Istanbul and on the streets of Europe and on the streets of the Middle East an incredibly, insanely alarming rate of young and old Armenians that are, as one of them I spoke to in Istanbul, who spoke brilliantly in incredibly erudite and well-learned Armenian. She said, we have become tashkinaks, handkerchiefs. And the biggest fear I have is this incredible youth that we have in Armenia. You know, from Tumo, from Golden Apricot, from all the civil society members, how do we come to a place where we can turn that potential energy and make it kinetic so that these people do not leave the country?